Okay, I did have a bit of an issue with the model here. I went and closed up the parts, but the flasher wasn't working. It's working now. The reason was um, the resistors were not a high enough level, and the LEDs fried. So I replaced them with new LEDs, and I put a 100 ohm resistor on there. There was only a 46 on it before, and it seems to be working now. They're just as bright as before, the lights. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish putting this all back together, and then rewire it up, and then put it back. Before I glue it back together, I'm going to do one more quick light test just to make sure. Morning, Ken. Well, I found out why the thing wasn't working, as you probably just heard. Is the I didn't have a high enough resistor on there, and the LEDs fried. So I'm just in the process of rewiring it back up here. Um, well, if you're a real professional and you're really good at math, you have to do the math. Because I got 1 amp going in, and then you have to figure out the resistance value of all these big lights, and then the resistance value of the LED itself for the 1 amp. Then you do a bunch of calligraphy or whatever it is, physics, I don't know, and then you can figure it out. With me, I just keep testing and testing until I get the right value. I'm not good at math. Math and I are like oil and water, we don't mix. Even though technically we use math every single day without really realizing it. It's just the complex math. I don't get it. Like Ohm's law. It's not over my head, but it's still hard for me to learn. And if I don't use the Ohm's law constantly every single day, I forget it really fast. Oh, you're going to be stubborn, are you? is the pulse phasers. Where are the pulse phasers here? Okay. Here we go. It's flashing. It's good. All the pulse phasers are working. Okay. All right. All right. Let's do a take two. What brat? Huh? Looking for a punch in the nose? I don't trust it. I'll do one more. Okay. Okay. I try it one more time. Here we go. It's flashing. It's good. Pulse phasers are working. I do believe we got it. Just when the glue dries, I got a bunch of areas here where the light is leaking through. Putty those. And I'm sure there's going to be a couple of spots here where the glue isn't holding and I got to clamp it down again, but that always happens. Oh, great. I didn't record it. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to pull it apart just so I can record putting it together. No. No. There we go. Okay, we got it all together. Let's do another light test. Let's just make sure that the navigation lighting is actually going to be flashing. That's a good idea. I guess I could, couldn't I? So I'm done with these. I can put these back. There we go. Let me see here. Look at that. It's working. It's working. Let's try the pulse phasers here. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Impulse engines. Few areas there that I need to putty to keep the light from leaking through, but yeah. Now the last stage is getting it all painted to make it look like the original thing. All right. And the decals will be the very last thing I put on, obviously. I got a painting diagram here for it. That's pretty much what I'm going to be working on. Well, I'm going to let this set overnight. Then I'm going to put the putty on. Have that a few hours to set. And then I can actually start the painting. So I might not be able to start painting tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow in the evening. I can put this thing on at least. The last part to go on the model. All right. I can do some putting right now where the tape isn't covering. was kind of wondering about weathering the model. It's this. I saw on YouTube this one guy just using water-based paints, so it doesn't affect the paint job. Is he just really, I mean, watered it down just using black, and then afterwards, after it was just basically covered. He was working on a Star Destroyer, by the way, and just taking a rag and just wiping it off. And then the black would hang around the little edges and in the corners and contours and stuff, just to give it that really well worn look to it. I would have to mask off these areas because I don't want any water or anything going down inside there or in here. But everything else, pretty much fair game. But that Star Destroyer has, man, it looked like it was really well beat up. Looked pretty good. But that Star Destroyer of his is a lot bigger than the one I built, and mine is a pretty big one. And he built that one, I think, from scratch, the 3D printed and all that stuff. Yeah. So, this is a matte base on here. The decals don't really like that, so I'll have to use a gloss clear coat, put the decals on, after the weathering, if I do it. And then after that, a dull coat to seal everything in. So it's going to be a lot of coats. Like on the interior, I used a primer, and then I put the chrome silver on, because I found that if I didn't do the primer first, there was still light bleed through in certain areas of a model. So I do the primer first, the silver, and for the outside, obviously the primer. Actually, I did 2 coats of primer, and then I put the final coat on using this color here. And this is actually surprising. It's exactly the same color as the plastic color for the model itself. So I didn't have to do anything. It was exactly the same color. And it worked out perfectly. It's just going to be a bit of a mess cleaning up all the other areas here, but it'll still come out nice. And then for the really tiny detail touch-ups, I got the same color in this where I can use a brush. I still don't trust it. Okay, good. Snowplow truck. Yeah. Well, if you guys have any questions, you go ahead and ask. Otherwise, it's going to be a pretty short live stream today until tomorrow, when I can take the tape off and do the rest of the work on here. Anything on your minds? Kinda, not really. Sort of blah, blah, blah. Just this up a little bit higher. There we go. Oh. Yeah, could do that. Yeah, it's an idea. Oh, yeah. That was actually something I wanted to get. I'll have to look into that. Might be a little late to get it for this one. But if you guys want to see how that other modeler did his Star Destroyer, I don't know. I think it's, what did I type in? Something like uh, weathering for Star Destroyers in the Google or the YouTube search or something like that. Weathering weathering techniques for Star Destroyers, something like that. I was just curious in how other people did their Star Destroyers compared to how I did mine. It could have been Randy Cooper. I believe it could have been him. Yeah. Yeah, there's so many techniques though for weathering. Yeah, the oils might work better for smaller models rather than something like this or the Star Destroyer. I mean, his model was huge. Like the one I got is like pretty big, but his is like over twice the size of mine. It might have been Randy. I don't know. It sounds familiar. Hmm. Clay washes. I've never heard of that one before. I'll have to look that up. All right, Randy. Catch you later, man. I'm about to head off here too. All right. I wrote that down, so I'm gonna do a little bit of research on it. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.